today we're gonna read the Magic Tree of Merlin mission book, 18 Dogs and the Dead of Night. And today we're gonna start reading at chapter 4, Barry, and the end of reading at chapter 5. And maybe I will gonna try to read all of the stories today afternoon. And now, are you ready for this one book with a lot of stories? And now here we go. And first we can read is the Magic Tree of Merlin mission book, 18 Dogs and the Dead of Night. Chapter 4, Barry. Jack and Annie have followed Brother Michael out of the parlor. The monk carried 2 lanterns and chatted while he led them to the down a chilly hole. Oh, I think here at this country might be very, very cold. So Jack said it's very cold and even the hole is very chilly. This monastery was built with the highest part of the past almost 800 years ago. Brother Michael said, we have a duck kennel and a capel, as well as a library filled with books and exhibits of rocks, minerals, and butterflies. Brother Lantern is quite well known of his research and his nature expeditions. That's cool, murmured Jack, but he was too worried about their mission to say any more. How we never found a flower here? He wondered again, but Brother Michael had opened the door to the small room. We have many rooms for travelers, he said, but tonight you are only visitors. The monk had placed a lantern on the table between 2 small beds. I hope you will sleep well, he said, and if you have more questions, I will be glad to answer them tomorrow. Thanks. Good night, said Annie. Good night, said Brother Michael, and he had left the room and closed the door. Jack and Annie sat on their beds. The lantern light was casting shadows on the white walls of the small room, and the wind had rattled the window panes. I'm so glad to be here, said Annie, sighing, and not lost outside in the dead of night. She lay back and covered herself with a brown wooden blanket. No kidding, said Jack, but it still makes no sense that Teddy and Kathleen sent us. We'll figure it out tomorrow, said Annie. Jack reached out to his bag and took out his smoke scroll, and he had unrolled it, read aloud by the lantern light. The second thing to break a spell, while white and yellow flower, lives meaning for yourself, if only for an hour. It's a mystery, said Jack. No flower can live in the cold, snowy place like this and leave its meaning. What's that about? Why just an hour? I don't know, murmured Annie. She had closed her eyes and yawned. Aren't you tired? Yeah, Barry, said Jack, but I'm so worried about our mission. And he put the scroll back to his bag and pulled out the research book. And Jack had flipped through it until he came to the section of the photos of plants and animals. He read the chapter title aloud. Flora and fauna of Alps. He looked at Annie. Flora and fauna means plants and animals. Did you know that? And Annie didn't open her eyes or say anything. Are you asleep? Asked Jack. Yes, said Annie. You should go sleep too. You can read yourself in morning. But nothing makes sense, said Jack. I don't know if I can sleep. Try, said Annie, and Jacob sighed. He closed the research book and placed it on the floor. And then he had blew out the lantern flame and pulled out to his woolen blanket. And Jacob kept his eyes open, but he couldn't see a thing. The room was a pitch black. Somewhere of the monastery came soft, beautiful singing. 2 of the 3 saints barked. The panes of their window rattled and wind moaned outside. We forget to ask what year is, said Jack. It's hard to tell, don't you think? Shh, whispered Annie, but it feels timeless here. Jack went on. Everything will be in the time a long ago in our time. Sun, snow, mountains, monk, soup, singing, wind, wool, night. Jack closed his eyes. And dogs, murmured Jack. Oh, mumbled Annie. Dogs, Jack replied in the whisper. And then he fell asleep. And Jack opened his eyes. Cold gray light came through the pane window. Where am I? He wondered. He sat up, put his glasses on, and looked around the white-walled room. Annie was still asleep. Oh yeah, the monastery, Jack thought. Hey Annie, he whispered. Wake up. Where are we? Said Annie. Open her eyes in the Cecil Alps, said Jack. We are? Why? Said Annie Goggery. Good question, said Jack. Let's read about flora, fauna, the Alps and figure it out. And Jack had reached out from the book on the floor. Just as he grabbed it, the door had banged open. The scent-burning dog burst into the room. The dog flung himself to Jack's back. Ow! Said Annie. Oh, Jack yelled. What? Cried Annie. The giant dog had plopped out up to the top of Jack's and painted. His head was big like a basketball, and his breath smelled like a fish and crackers. His forehead smelled like wet wool. Okay, get up, please, Jack said, and he had tried to push the dog off, but the dog just had wrinked his brow and looked curiously to Jack's eyes. Drool hung from the long jaws. Ew, Annie, help! Hey, you! Annie half called out to the huge painting dog. Come to me, said the scent-burning jumped off Jack and bounded to Annie's bed with the same joy and energy. Annie couldn't stop giggling as the dog licked her face. Barry, said the brother Michael. He stood in the doorway, ignoring the monk. The dog nosed, and Annie with the giant head. Stop, stop, she said, laughing. Oh, Barry off, the monk said. Barry, said Jack, trying to help. The dog looked over at Jack, and he had lifted up to Annie's bed. Oh no, cried Jack, don't come back to me. And he had covered his head with a blanket. But it was too late. Barry jumped back onto Jack's bed and stood pawing the blanket, trying to dig Jack out of it underneath. Barry, come, commanded Brother Michael. Now, finally sent Merlin, had lifted off Jack's bed and bounded to the hallway. The brother Michael had quickly closed the door behind the shadowy giant. "Well, now you have me, Barry," he said out in the hallway. Barry had whined and pawed to the door, begged, and come back to the room. "A poor puppy," said Annie. "Barry may be young," said brother Michael. "It's 200-pound dog who needs to grow up." "Aw," said Annie. She laughed gently at the mournful sounds Barry was making. "Perhaps you don't realize it," said brother Michael, "but at the past noon you have both been asleep for many hours." "Oh, really? Oh, man," said Jack. He had jumped off the bed and grabbed his shoes and put them on. He couldn't believe they'd waste too much time. "We are just completing our noontime meal in the dining hall before we hike down off the pass," said brother Michael. "Dozens of French soldiers will be crossing through on the way of Italy. The brother Lawrence have left to the SS of the forest troops. I thought perhaps you would like to eat something before the rest of the leave to help." Sure, thanks," said Jack. "I will wait for you to the dining hall next to the parlor," said the monk. When the brother Michael had slipped out of the door, and Barry had greeted him to the happy yelp. And then the giant's dog's barking faded with the hallway. Now it's chapter 5, He or Yours. And now, maybe tomorrow I'll be getting new and new stories. That means I will try reading this Magic Tree of Merlin Mission Book 18 Dogs in the Dead of Night. The end of reading it all of that today afternoon. Now, did you have fun? US English Country will come back with some new book and new stories, maybe tomorrow. And now, please thumbs up my YouTube if you didn't thumbs up my YouTube before you look at my YouTube. Now, bye-bye everybody and have a nice day. Bye!